All right, grade 7, I hope that you're doing well today. In today's session, we're going to have something new in the reading, something that we need to learn about, which is technical newsletter. A technical newsletter. So first, we need to know what is the meaning of a technical newsletter. Let's see someone. Okay, Mr. Muhammad Hussein, since you are very smart, let's start by you. Can you start reading, please?
What, teacher?
Start reading.
Technical newsletter. A technical newsletter gives information about the latest advances in electronics or other technologies. It often compares and contrasts new developments or products to help readers make informed decisions. Newsletters are often emailed or sent as direct mail or mail sent to a specific target audience. Many technical newsletters are geared to audience of subscribers who are already familiar with technical field. Others are aimed more general audiences who need to make a purchase or research in developments in field.
Nice, problem, excellent. Mr. Al-Faisal. Al-Faisal. Azam. Sahib.
Sir, me.
Faris.
Yes, teacher.
What do you mean by a technical newsletter? What do you understand?
Read,
Muhammad,
read or explain.
you can read and explain.
Okay. Wait.
I'm waiting.
So, a technical newsletter gives information about the latest advances in electronics or other technologies. It often compares and contrasts the new developments or products to help readers make informed decisions. Newsletters are often emailed or sent as direct emails or mail sent to a specific target audience. Many technical newsletters are geared to audience of subscribers who are already familiar with the technical field. Others are aimed to more general audience who need to make a purchase or research new development in the field.
Nice, bravo, Faris. So what do you mean by that?
So a technical newsletter is a letter that gives you some information about the latest advances or news
Nice.
about technologies or anything that it could be, and it's sent often by emails, and it has many technical like we can send it in any way, like friendly letter or anything.
Bravo, excellent. Very, very good. So simply, guys, to speak about the technical newsletter, we're speaking about to making a compare and contrast letter about some new devices. For example, I want to buy a new phone, and right now I don't know whether to buy iPhone 12 or iPhone 13, for example. And I ask your advice, and I tell you, please, guys, advise me. For me, what's best to buy? Shall I buy iPhone 12 or iPhone 13? So right now you're gonna send me a technical newsletter. In this technical newsletter, you're gonna make a comparison and contrast between both devices or both phones, telling me about the best about this phone and the best about that phone, the worst about this phone, the worst about this phone, comparing prices of both phones. Consequently, a newsletter which is concerned about technology or technical newsletter will give us the needed information about the devices that we want. And usually, those newsletters are often emailed or sent as a direct mail. So simply, you're gonna send it on my account. For now, of course, you would do that on Classera, not my own account. All right. So the technical newsletter speaks about comparing and contrasting between the development and the area of technology. For try it, study the sample technology newsletter, then answer the 5 questions about it and record the answer in your journal. So, here are the techno tips, MP3 players. Let's see. Rashid, Mr. Rashid, hello. Rashid, your voice is lagging. Hello.
You hear me? Hello?
Yes, now we can hear you. Can you read, please? Techno tip.
Yes. MP3 player. An MP3 player is a pocket-sized electronic device that stores and plays back music or other audio files. There are stores and plays back music. Others
There are two basic
basic
kinds.
kinds: hard drive, basic MP3 player, and flash based MP3 player. Each has its benefits and drawbacks.
Nice.
Let's jump
Here,
in.
please. So right now in this techno tips, we're gonna speak about an MP3 player. Have you heard about the MP3 player, boys? Any one of
Yes,
you?
I
Huh?
have.
Yes, teacher, MP3 player, yes.
Yes. So what do we do with the MP3 player?
You put a video chip card or like a hard drive. It's a big like machine. But then
Yes.
Steve Jobs come and make something called iPod.
Nice, bro. Yeah, he did. So, an MP3 player, boys, of course, it had many shapes, okay? But all of them are giving us the same mission or the same use, which is playing music and audio files. MP3 player, it was very famous before the new devices or the new phones come to just broadband like this. An MP3 player, people used to have it while going to the gym, moving around, doing whatever they need. And of course, right now we have new version of it, touch and all of that. But the old one, I think, was like this one. You just store your.
It was much thicker, teacher.
Well, I had one like this one, like 12 or 13 years ago, a lot. So simply, the MP3 player, we use it in order to just play audio files. Continue. And of course, now we have two kinds of it, hard drive one, and the other one is the flash based one. For the hard drive based MP3 player,
Hard disk.
Hello, teacher.
hello Iyad, how are you doing?
Teacher, hard disk player.
I am late
Yes,
because I had network problems. I am
no
late.
problem. No problem. The session is recorded and you can.
Teacher, what is the
Today we're gonna speak about the technical newsletter. We have defined the technical newsletter ad as they are letters which can give us information about the latest electronic devices, and they are often comparing and contrasting between new and old devices, or which is more likely to be bought by someone. For example, if I tell you, please send me a technical newsletter about both iPhone 12 and iPhone 13, and which one shall I purchase or buy? So you're gonna send me a direct email telling me about the pros and cons of each one of them. And as an example, we're gonna speak about the MP3 player. MP3 player is a pocket size electronic device. This pocket size has two kinds, the drive based MP3 player and the flash based MP3 player. Let's speak about both of them. Let's see. Abdullah Albiz.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, can you read, please?
Okay. Which one?
Hard drive based MP3.
Okay. Hard drive based MP3 player. Sometimes called hard disk players have the most gigabytes. This means they have more storage space in your music collection. In fact, some hard drive based players can store as many as 40,000 songs. In terms of cost, you get the most storage space for your money with one of these players. However, you also get the largest and heaviest MP3 player. Micro hard drive based MP3 players are smaller and lighter version, but they also have less storage space. They do not solve the biggest problems of all hard drive based players. Sudden movements cause them to skip. Thus, hard drive based players are impractical to use while jogging, running, or working out.
Nice, bravo, bravo, Abdullah. Nice. So to speak about the first type of the MP3 players, we're speaking about the hard drive-based MP3 player. Sometimes we call it hard disk players. Those hard disk players, they have the most gigabytes, the space for storage. This means they have storage space for your music collection. Even some of them could go further to just store as many as 40,000 songs. Of course, we don't have to put only songs, we can put other audio files also. In the term of cost, since you are having a high amount of gigabytes, then you will pay a little bit more money. But here comes the problem because, as I told you, MP3 players they were famous like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Not many people buy them now. But because right now you're speaking about more gigabytes, so you're speaking about more weight. Like right now, the charger, okay? We can use also some charger to charge our phones while we are moving. We call them power bank, right? You can see a very, very small power bank and a very, very big power bank. That's, of course, according to the amount of storage it has. Some of them 10,000 milliamperes, others 20,000, others 30,000, 40,000. So, according to the space, you will find the size. So, this one, of course, it will not store all of the 40,000, but this one could be, why not? Okay, so back again, regarding or according to the gigabytes, you will find the cost. However, hard drive based MP3 players are a smaller and lighter version, but they also have less storage. So if you are speaking about storage, then the more storage you have, the bigger your device will be. They also do not solve the biggest problems of all the hard drive based players, which is the sudden movements. I'm running, for example, I'm jogging, I'm jumping, I just moved suddenly, so they could just slip from your hand or from your pocket and crack. The other type of the MP3 players is called flash based MP3 player. Fahd Saud, can you read?
Yes.
The flash-based MP3 player.
Flash-based MP3 players, sometimes called flash memory players, are the original MP3 design. They are smaller and lighter than other players, and they do not skip their storage space. However, it's fairly small depending on the model. It ranges from as few as 10 to as many as 8,000 songs. Also, per unit of storage space, flash-based player cost more than their hard drive uh, drive drive-based cousins. Moreover, they can be harder to operate, especially if they have lots of special features.
Nice, bravo, bravo, nice side. So on the other hand, to speak about the flash-based players, they are sometimes called flash memory players. They are the original MP3 players. Okay, that's the original design. They are smaller, lighter than other players, so that's a merit, a good thing. And they do not skip. Good. Their storage space, however, is fairly small, so that's a demerit, disadvantage, a bad thing. So here we're comparing about everything. So for the storage space, they don't support many storage, and they can just range from 10 songs to 8,000 songs. All answer, always late. Also, per unit of storage space, flash-based players cost less than their hard drive-based cousins. So flash-based players are even cheaper than the hard drive. But again, they do not support many storage. Moreover, they can be harder to operate, especially if they have some special feature. So in this techno tips, we have already seen how to write a comparison between two types of the same device or even two different devices. Right now, we need to answer these questions. Number one, what topic does the newsletter address? Who can answer this? Let's just go here so that you have both in front of you.
The MP3 player.
Mp3 player. So they are making a comparison between two different Mp3 players, hard drive based one and flash based one. Nice. So describe the newsletter's audience. Are the general readers ready to buy or thickness? Familiar with the topic, cite details to explain your answer. And this question here, we just need now to describe who are the audience who would be interested in this techno tips. Yes, Ali?
Joggers.
Ali?
Teacher, you called my name?
Yes. Who do you
Yes.
think are the audience who would be interested in reading such a techno tips? This one.
Players.
Players?
Yeah.
The people, or if you want to hear a podcast, joggers, maybe you want to read a book, and there's a digital book, like some thing reads it for you. Those people.
The player does not support books, but it supports audio. If you have the book as
Oh,
an
I thought
audio
you mean
Yeah,
file,
yeah,
about the
yeah. The
topic.
book
yes.
audio. So
Yes, if you
it
have an
reads
audio
for you.
file, you
Yeah, that
can
one.
download that. Nice, bravo. So we can say that the people who
What you
are
did
interested
at
in
gym?
reading this, yes, nice, bravo. Also in the gym, nice, good on Facebook. So the people who might be interested in reading about this tip are the people who are willing to buy an MP3 player. Among those people, we can say that we have the runners, the jugglings, the people who work out, the people in the gym, the people who would love to read books as, well, to listen to books, not read books, to listen to books as audio files, of course. So the people or the audience whose this technotip addresses are those who might be interested in buying an MP3 player for listening to music, songs, pops, whatever they want. Nice boys, bravo. And number three, list the main similarities and differences between both MP3 players.
Can I answer?
Okay.
They're both portable.
Yes, bravo. Both of them are portable, easy to carry.
They both they can both used to be you can hear audio files using
Bravo.
it,
Both of them support audio files.
and they have similar names. They're both
They have similar
MP3.
names. Both of them are MP3s. Yes.
Yes, and they are both light.
They are both quite light, quite.
Light.
Yeah, quite light.
Yeah, and
One of them is
differences.
heavier than the other.
Yeah, one of them is heavier than the other,
Yes.
and one of them has more storage. One is lighter. One
So
does
that's the
not skip,
difference.
and the
So that's the
other sudden
differences now.
movement. Huh?
So now that's the differences.
Yeah.
Faris Luay, Faris Luay. محمد القحطاني. ناصر. ما شاء الله. عبد العزيز.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Abdul Aziz. So, can you tell me about the differences between both devices? Some differences.
What was the question?
What are the differences between the hard drive based MP3 player and the flash based MP3 player?
The hard drive has more storage space.
Bravo. So the hard drive MP3 player, it has more.
And this is smaller and lighter.
Grade 7, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, sorry, my laptop died. So once again, Abdulaziz, the hard drive based MP3 player, it has more storage that you can store up to 40,000 songs on it. On the other hand, the flash MP3 player only supports until what?
Like it only supports like 8,000 songs.
Like 8,000 songs. That's number one. Number two, the hard drive. Since it has more storage, consequently,
It's heavier.
heavier
It's more
than flash.
expensive and heavier.
More expensive and heavier than the flash-based MP3 player. Bravo, bravo, bravo. And number four, does the newsletter use point-by-point or block organization? Does the organization help make the similarities and differences clear to you? Why or why not? So first of all, we need to understand what do we mean by point-by-point or block organization. When I make a comparison, we have now two devices and we need to make a comparison between both of them. So point by point means I, for example, come to the point of storage and I say this device, yes,
Conversation. Like the conversation of storage, then the conversation of weight, conversation of cost.
yes, and you mention both devices by each other. For example, I say the hard drive based MP3 player supports until 40,000 songs. Yet, on the other hand, the flash based MP3 player supports only until 8,000 songs. The next point, the hard drive based MP3 players is heavier since it has more storage. Yet, on the other hand, the flash based MP3 player is lighter than the hard drive based MP3 player. So you just make your comparison point by point. By doing this, you can just use the point by point. On the other hand, clock organization means you just speak about one of them, all the merits and demerits, and after you finish, you speak about the other one, no? Merits also and demerits. And of course, in our techno tip here, we use the block organization. All right, grade 7. Last question. What transition help make the similarities and differences clear?
You
Transitions.
first start with the newer one, then the older one, cause to see what's been upgraded, then see what has been downgraded.
Okay. Transitions also mean the word that you use while writing in order to make the process easy for our audiences to understand us. Like for example, I say then, thus, after, yet, on the other hand, that's why, so, and conclusion as a result. All of these are called the transitions. And of course, we use them frequently in the process of writing in order to make it easier for our audiences to understand us. Any questions so far, boys?
Now, did we finish?
No, we did not. For creating a technical newsletter, we will see this in the next session. But right now, you will see the video about the technical newsletter and how to do that. We need someone easy. Technical newsletter. Okay. How?
Are you gonna explain in the next session, or are we gonna just watch the video?
Now we will watch the video and next session we're gonna explain in 5 minutes and start writing.
Recommended video newsletter supporters of people is that they are very busy. They have television to watch and they spend hours every week watching television. They have kids to take care of. They have jobs. Many people have 2 jobs. And there's so many things that distract them. And reading your newsletter may not be one of their most important things. So to make sure that they are going to read your newsletter, you need to make it easy for them to read. Do not think that they're going to be rabid fans for your newsletter, that they will read your newsletter regardless of how you present it. So one of the things that you do to present your newsletter in a way that they'll read is to focus your newsletter on one topic. If you don't write your newsletter frequently, you may have many things you want to say in the same newsletter. Resist the temptation and pick the most important one and focus on it for the entire newsletter. If you think you need to say more, you may consider writing your people more frequently, maybe sending newsletter every month instead of every 3 months. The next thing that I want you to consider is that you need to keep it short, simple, and clean. Just one page for each newsletter will make it easy for people to read. And besides making it one page only and keeping it simple, short, and clean, you need to include a simple photo. And we all know that a photo is worth 1,000 words. So including a photo in there that has a brief newsy caption below the photo will really help to make the newsletter communicate much in very few words. A temptation that people have is to pack a lot of material into the newsletter and so overcrowd the newsletter. I want you to resist that temptation and allow a lot of white space, margins, and bullet points, and make it easy for a person to pick up the newsletter and read it. If you add too much information in there, you're going to discourage many people from reading it. Some people will put it on their table and say, this is a lot of information, I'll read it later. And some never come back to read it. Some just skim through it and then they don't get to actually get what you want to say. Less is more when it comes to writing a newsletter and getting people to read it. I have a train passing by, so if you hear any sound, you know it's a train. So use a grabbing and interesting opening that will really pull attention of people so that they get into your newsletter. Don't write it as though you're writing to a family member. Who use a grabbing and interesting opening to really make people get interested and enter into your newsletter. Stories are very, very powerful. It is impossible to overestimate the power of a story. When you start telling a story, whether you're doing public speaking or communicating through a letter, it grabs the attention of the audience or the reader. And so using ministry stories that minister to the person you're writing to is something that is very important. If you have a ministry like the one that we have, where part of your ministry is taking care of the poor, orphans, and widows, then sharing some of the stories from the ground will not only grab.
Unfortunately, Mr. Rehab had just come, so yeah, Mr. Rehab will start his session. See you next session, grade 7. Bye.